I found especially helpful in Pastor Goff's message this morning a distinction about fear that he drew from Thomas Aquinas. There's the emotion of fear, which is natural and is a healthy part of simply being a human being. And then there is fear that turns us inward. I think you used the word suffocating our loves and becoming a way of living, a fear that will stifle our existence. Again, Pastor Goff, I found that helpful, and I wonder if you could just expand on that a little bit.
Well, thank you, Pastor Ahlersmeyer. I found it insightful as well from the standpoint that I think all of us are experiencing fear in a variety of different ways right now. And maybe it's just fear over financial circumstances or health issues, or how long is this going to last, and will there be another reoccurrence? But I think all of those fears sometimes can lead to surfacing other fears in our life as well. And I think overall, the important thing is for us to be aware of that. It's a very natural response. It's a very natural emotion for us. I don't think the answer is to suppress that, but actually to talk about it and to acknowledge that. And, we would even say, that there are situations like anxiety. And so, people become very anxious during a time like this. And we have periods of anxiety over a certain circumstance or situation. But that is very different from a long-lasting living with anxiety that may actually be an anxiety disorder. And while I'm not a mental health professional, but really want to try to lift up people receiving care for issues related to mental or emotional or behavioral illnesses. When there's a long-spanning disorder, challenge time, it's important to seek some help. And I know that becomes all the more difficult these days because we're supposed to shelter in place and doctors' offices aren't often open. But there are many therapists, many counselors who are doing telemental health. And we want to take advantage of that if that's a need.
Telemental health. Wow, that's a new one. And but that is out there. And I'm just curious, I think you are aware of some other resources, aren't you, as well, that could help our good folks at this time?
Yeah, the Lutheran Foundation has been working for the last several years to put together a website that has a series of resources on it, and that's called lookupindiana.org. And that website was just refreshed, just relaunched a few weeks ago. And so we would encourage people to go onto that site. You'll see on the front page, find help, and you'll type in a zip code or a location, and then you'll see a series of resources that become available underneath the tab for health. You can click on where you see mental health if those are issues. Again, I think overall for all of us, it's important for us just to be talking about this. We all have our own fears, our anxieties, and just in general conversation with our families to acknowledge that and to let somebody know that there's no shame, nothing wrong with expressing some of what you're going through.
Paul says in his letter to the Ephesians that God gives gifts to his church. And Pastor Goff, you've been a gift to our congregation and to this community. And I thank you also for pointing us to other resources, other gifts, individuals, other ministries and organizations that can help us in these unprecedented times. Thanks for your message today and also for your insights. God bless you in your work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.